Alright, so it was a bit of a flop summit. It yielded no deal, but that is not how the North Korean government sees it. It now wants North Korean people to see it in a completely different light, for which the government has released a film on Kim Jong Un's second summit with US President Donald Trump, minus some important details. Here's more.
경야는 최고 용도자동차께서 타신 전용 열차가
North Korea's state TV has aired a documentary glorifying Kim Jong Un's recent visit to Vietnam. The 78-minute documentary that followed Kim's 11-day train journey to Hanoi for the summit showed the highlights of Kim's 9-day stay in the Vietnamese capital, including his exchanges with Trump, visit to North Korean embassy, and a tour of tourism and industrial sites by his top aides. The strictly controlled North Korean state media, however, very conveniently omitted the failed nuclear negotiations with President Donald Trump.
The
film features the two leaders smiling and shaking hands even after they ended the summit without a deal, and saying they had agreed to sit face to face more often and continue constructive dialogue. The documentary also cited Kim saying North Korea and US must put an end to their decades-long animosity and confrontation. But there was just no mention about the lack of an agreement following the summit. The Hanoi summit broke down due to disputes over how far North Korea was willing to limit its nuclear program and the degree of US willingness to ease sanctions. Washington and Pyongyang blame each other for the talks' breakdown, but both sides still leave the door open for future negotiations.
I want to keep the relationship. We will keep the relationship. We'll see what happens over the next period of time. But in the meantime, we'll be talking. Mike will be speaking with his people.
North Korean documentaries are typically propaganda, venerating Kim Jong Un, the subject of a strong personality cult among the North's 25 million people. Some observers say omitting the status of the nuclear talks also shows the North Korea's hopes to continue negotiations, while cleverly excluding information on any diplomatic failures that could damage Kim's leadership. Predictably, much of the documentary is devoted to burnishing Kim Jong Un's credentials as a statesman. And the documentary's release comes at an interesting time, when the news of North Korea rebuilding a key long-range rocket site is doing the rounds. Bureau Report, Wion, World is One.